the Sundays, scaries. Dreamt I was at work, but I was butt ass naked. Anxious and
Okay, why'd you title the new EP A Drop in the Bucket? It's still a drop.
It was something that I heard, and it's something that resonated with me. And it's kind of the idea that what we do, the choices we make matter. And collectively, uh, a million drops can fill a bucket or overflow a bucket. So it's the idea that what we do matters.
Okay. It's like the what's that saying? Uh the camel, the last straw that broke the camel's back.
Yeah, except maybe in a more positive way, hopefully. Yeah, like that.
Yeah. Right. I get it. I get it. Yeah, definitely more positive. Um, you got a song Smartphone, and you have a line where you say, I judge a man by his shoes. I can judge a man by his shoes. Explain what you mean by that one.
So like I think if you look at how someone is dressed, maybe specifically the shoes that they wear, they could tell you a lot about that person.
Expound, please, because this is
Um,
something that, okay, many years ago, I was having a conversation with a couple women, girls, young at the time, and the girl said to me, I, I forget exactly how she phrased it, but basically she judges a man by the shoes that he wears. And if he wears bad shoes, she's not going to talk to him. I found that to be like, I don't know, petty. Like to me, that seems kind of silly. But what you're saying is
um,
something different,
you're not wrong, right? There's that level of like you could judge someone's taste based on the clothes that they wear or how
right?
they choose to dress themselves, right? Um, but also it could tell in certain contexts tell a story about class, like socioeconomic status, those types of things. And so that I think that's what I'm trying to get at there with that line in the context of that song.
Okay. So you can judge a man by his shoes.
Yeah, and the door's open for the petty way too.
Okay, so it's kind of similar. All right.
Yeah.
Um, the sounds you use are really unique. To me, they sound like TV show, uh, old TV show soundtracks. What's your favorite genre to dig from?
Um uh I it's been jazz mostly.
Really?
Yeah, like even I don't want to sample snitch on myself, but one
Right,
of
right, right.
them is from a TV show soundtrack, but it's jazz,
Jazz.
uh, a jazz soundtrack for that TV show.
Ah,
But I'm pulling all kinds of sounds. It's a short EP, but I and there is a similar tone to all of the beats on this EP, but I think they come from different areas and it goes in different directions. Um, you mentioned smartphone. A lot of that beat just involves the static on the record.
okay. Um, take me into your production. What's in your production workstation?
Um, it mostly revolves around happy accidents. Uh, this EP, the bulk of it was the beats were produced using the PO33, the Teenage Engineering PO33, and the samples come direct from vinyl, um, with the exception of the vocal samples. And then I use an SP404 on to make Sunday Scaries. And so I'm not doing a lot within a DAW on my computer. I'm mostly just a few tracks, mostly vocal tracks, and the rest I'm doing on hardware.
Okay. So what do you just dump it all in Pro Tools or?
Um, I take the loop or the beat or the pattern that I made in the PO33 or the 404, and I just record the track straight to Logic.
Oh, Logic.
And the
Okay.
rest, I'm maybe bringing some additional samples in afterwards, and uh, vocal takes and maybe some ambient noise from the room.
Hmm. Okay. I'm not familiar with PO33.
Oh, it's like a toy. It's like the size of a calculator or the
Okay.
size of a credit card, and it kind of looks like a calculator, is what I meant to say. Um, and really cheap. And you just take an aux cord, plug right into it. It also has a mic and a speaker on it. So it's something that I could like sit on the couch and make a beat with, or like walk around the apartment and make a beat on it. And that's kind of how I write too, is like moving around a lot. So I kind of like that aspect of it.
It makes sense. Sunday Scaries. That's a song we can all unfortunately relate to. Do you think there's a cure for the Sunday Scaries?
Um, Yeah, there's like the meme like you don't hate Mondays, you hate capitalism. Like I think we maybe even if you love what you do, like I love what I do for work, but I don't always love the conditions that I do it under. And the cure for the Sunday scaries is just like more security and dignity for people.
Mm. That's tough, man. That's a,
Yeah, we need, yeah, we like a 4 day work week or something like that would be a start. Um, yeah, I think that it's like a working class anthem that, like you said, we all relate to some degree. Um, and for that to change, material conditions need to change.
yeah. Not in this country, bro. I remember
No, no, unfortunately not.
it's not, yeah, it's not, it's capitalism. I remember,
Mhm.
God, I don't know how old I was. It's over 20 years ago. I'm working a job and this girl there, she was from Poland. I think Poland. I think she was from Poland and she was telling me how they work like 4 hours a day there and like a couple, 3, 4 days a week. I'm like, well, that sounds doable. Like
Yeah,
this, we get worked into the ground.
yes.
And then you can't retire until you're like crazy old. It's like
If you're lucky at this point,
if you're
right?
lucky, you make it right.
Mhm.
It's a bad system, bro. Like I don't get me wrong, I love this country, but ooh, we work ourselves to death.
Yeah, for necessities.
Right. Yeah, right. Just to survive. Yeah. It's
Mhm.
crazy. It's crazy when you really think about it. It's kind of messed up. But
Oh, absolutely.
what can we do, right?
Well, like I said, a drop in a bucket is still a drop, right? We can change the things closest to us, and we can hopefully organize to put pressure on people in power.
That's true. Yeah. We've seen, people are critical of protests sometimes, but protests bring about change. Uh, Speaking up, like, we can't change everything, but we can change some things. I think it's important to speak up about certain things. Yeah, definitely.
Absolutely, absolutely. And people are always going to be resistant to change, or some people are because it's uncomfortable, because you're challenging power, and you're doing things outside of avenues that those people control, maybe.
Definitely. Definitely. It suits them for sure. Old Self, explain that. Like, explain the name to me.
Uh, well, I think I got it from a Beastie Boys lyric, a later song too. I think it was "Make Some Noise." MCA says, pa "Pass," and this doesn't paint me in a good light either. Calling myself this, I guess, but it's "Pass me the scalpel and make an incision. Cut out the part of your brain that does the bitching. Throw it in formaldehyde and or put it in formaldehyde and throw it on the shelf. You could show it to your friends and say that's my old self." Um, So it's kind of like, I guess to me, it's like uh, leaving things behind, but also still being connected to your past to some degree. I don't know if that makes sense. But it's made a cool logo for me.
Yeah, definitely. What do you remember what album that was from? The Beastie Boys?
That their last album,
Oh,
Hot
Five
Sauce
Boroughs?
Committee.
Was that
No,
the last one?
Hot Sauce Committee Part Two. Is that what they called that last album?
I
Part
thought
two?
it
Yeah,
was.
not to the Five Boroughs. That was the one they did after that.
I didn't know they did one after To the Five
Oh yeah,
Boroughs.
Hot Sauce Committee. It's got Too Many Rappers with Nas on it. It's a pretty good song. I think that
Okay,
was an early single.
I got to go back. You know what
Yeah,
year? What
there's
year that
some
was?
well, To the Five Boroughs had to be like what 2003, 2004. So this was I don't know, after that
Yeah, yeah.
2000 maybe 2010? I don't
Okay,
know.
okay. I'll look it up. I'll look it up. Wow. Okay. Um, on the song Old Forever, you have a line where you say, "I'm not ready to admit I'm not ready to die." Why aren't you ready to admit that?
Well, and I also guess that I kind of admit it in that line. Um I don't know. I think it's maybe like it's like being ready to die. Maybe there's some pride in that, in being sure of yourself, and like what you've done in life. There could be some pride in that to some degree, and so maybe that is me coming off like embarrassed or feeling weak about that or something. But I'm not sure what I mean by that line, and I think that's gonna like change for me over time.
Yeah. Uh, I'm not ready to admit that either. You know.
Why not?
Um, I think because of what you said, it's like this, I don't want to say bravado, but like there's something there like a, a way you feel like you're supposed to be a certain way. And
Or yes, yes. I think like there's an idea of um, people being more sure of themselves with age that is maybe not always true, but that's how they wear it. That's how some older people wear it, you know?
yeah, yeah, and it's I don't know, man. Like death in general is just
And like feeling certain about something so uncertain.
hard.
Yeah,
That's like the impossible. I don't know.
yeah.
I do envy those people who are content or accepting of
Mm,
the end, because that's just amazing to me.
yeah.
Yeah, definitely. All right, man. Last question. Who is the drop in the bucket is still a drop EP made for?
I think first and foremost, it's made for me.
Hmm.
And it's made for the people in my life and my loved ones. It was important to me to include my grandfather's voice on Old Forever. That's his voice in the voicemail. And then I just hope people connect with it beyond that. And I appreciate you listening to it and taking the time to talk to me about it.
Oh man, of course. Of course. Uh, it's important for me to highlight people who I think are dope and people from with different styles, different backgrounds, because it's so much out there. I see a lot of this has been going on forever, but people complain about mainstream rap music And I understand why, but there's so much out there. There's so much dope stuff out there. And, hip hop is not dead. It's very much alive, just maybe not on your radio station.
Yeah, I think it's like more interesting and challenging and progressive than ever, maybe.
Could you have seen a guy like Tyler, the Creator, 30 years ago?
No.
I mean,
Or,
no. I mean, and there's so many. I don't know. Even some of the popular drill, or I don't know what you call it, stripper rap. It's There's so many different genres under hip hop.
yeah,
It's
and I think even if it's something that is not for me, there's something that can be taken away from it or can be appreciated.
100%, 100%. It's thriving and it's something for everybody. And that's on a mainstream level, an underground level, internationally. Hip hop is
Yeah,
everywhere, man. It's
yeah,
it's
strongly agree.
it's in a good place. Okay, old self. Thank you for joining the realhiphop.com.
Sharon, thank you very much for having me.
Nah,
You have an
man.
excellent night.
You too, man. Peace.
Take care.
I seen better days, still moving like a cruiserweight, till the casket drops and the levee breaks. I float away with little notice, but no one knows which way. The ultimate FOMO displays of posters and photos, staring at the glass. Fingerprints of the past, this is no way to relax. Old forever, whatever it is, I deserve it. Catholic guilt looking for a crime, what it is, I'm not certain.